What's going on, guys? This is Jacob from Vindictive Dueling 2011 here with my deck profile of Dark Worlds that I entered into WCQ this weekend. Since it was over here in Chicago this year, I figured I don't have my invite. I'll try last minute qualifier. Entered in with Evilswarms, didn't do so good. Then I just got Dark World together real fast, and sure enough, I got in. I face up against one Gishki FTW and 3 Evilswarm decks, and it was alright. They maxed me for the Evilswarms, and I still beat them. I had card destruction, 10 cards in their hand. It was funny. But unfortunately for the tournament, the entire big tournament, I dropped in the 4th round because I was going 2-2, and since I lost early, I figured I'll just drop now. There's no point in playing out something when I'm probably not going to get anything, even if I do good here on out. So my worst matchup basically is Elemental Dragon, because just Dark Worlds can't handle it, but, well, at least mine can't. But, yeah, so this will be my deck profile, but the one thing I want to definitely address is that I am not the guy that topped with the deck. So, that's somebody else. Don't think that I'm trying to take his credit or anything. I want to know his build too, just like everybody else, but he walked out of the place before anybody could get his deck profile. And honestly, I can see the guy probably just doesn't want people to know. So, without further ado, this is what I ran. Normal Dark World stuff, 3 Grapha, 3 Snow, 3 Brow, then my own choices, 2 Beige, 1 Gold, 2 Tour Guide, and 1 Malefic Stardust Dragon. Then we go on to spells. Again, typical Dark World stuff, 3 Gates, 3 Dealings, and 3 Drag Downs, along with 1 Card Destruction. Then we have a Lure, and then 3 Upstart Goblin, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Day of Peace, 2 Trade-In, 2 Advanced Draw, and 1 Magical Stone Excavation. And then on to the traps, the final part, 2 Eradicator, 1 Return from a Different Dimension, and 1 Skill Drain. Then on to the extra deck, we have 3 Heretic Sun Dragon. Sorry you can't see this stuff, but it's there. Zombie Steen, Tachyon Dragon, Neo Galaxy Photon, 1 Leviair, 1 Leviathan, 1 Zenmaines, 1 Acid Golem, 1 Giga Brilliant, 1 Tempo, 1 Utopia, 1 Maestroke, and 1 Stardust. As for the side, I had 2 Drill and Lock, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Prohibition, 2 MST, 2 Imperial Iron Wall, 1 Rivalry of Warlord, another Skill Drain, 1 Deck Dev, 2 Royal Decree, and 1 Goza Match. Now, again, I don't know if I said this in the beginning, but I'm definitely not proud of my side deck, as that's the part of the deck that I had put together at the last minute. But just to start off, going over the main deck, my techs, and my choices and my preferences. 2 Beige. I love Beige in the sense that it's an effect like Gold and Silva, where when it's discarded you get to special summon it. It helps you with your Field Swarm, and it helps get Graph out. And the fact that it's a level 4 is amazing, and 1600 is pretty good too, because then it becomes a 1900 beater when you have Gates out. As for Gold, I'm only keeping it at 1 because when I tried 2 at the last regional I tried to participate in, it screwed me over when I had 2 stuck in my hand, and the only way I could summon it to field was by discarding it. I had Graphas and everything, but it was just stuck in hand. Tour Guides, of course, they're kind of staple, but I personally find them to be a very obsolete card. It's a card that can be discarded, banished, whatever. Just get rid of it. It's just a card to help you filter through your deck and just help you a bit. It gives you an extra boost if you have a little bit of trouble. For instance, you don't have a target engraved for Gates, you just use 1 Tour Guide, get out the other, then go Leviathan Dragon, use the effect, get a Tour Guide engraved, then banish it. That's basically all I see Tour Guide as, is just fodder for discarding, banishing, whatever. Malefic Stardust Dragon is somewhat the same, but it's mostly for the trade-in and advanced draw, just to help me keep going through my deck, as, again, 3 Grapha is not going to be enough for 2 trade-in especially, As for advanced draw, they can keep coming to field and whatnot, but it still gets a little chance. It gets to be where it's like based on chance. Allure of Darkness, of some builds run it. I run the Goblins to help thin out the deck, because running Goblin, though it gives your opponent life points, it basically makes your deck 37 cards. Foolish Burial, it's not needed, but it helps you get your graph if you need it. Or a target for gates, which if I don't have some sort of banished target, then I just ditch the tour guide again. One Day of Peace, I like it because of the fact that it's an extra draw and it prolongs a turn for you to live, especially against Elemental Dragon. And I love that. The trade-ins and advanced draws, I decided to add those in as of like a few months ago because it just helps speed up the deck, especially when I'm going against the decks that I'm going up against. And then my tech, Magical Stone Excavation. The reason why I love this card is because I get to recycle my card destructions and whatever, any other spells that I need, and as well as just get cards out of my hand. Mostly the cards that I get out of my hand that just stick are usually the tour guides, the Malefic Stardust, and the gold, and as for spells, it's usually just the trade-in and the advanced draw. But sometimes it's just that card that helps you out. Let's say that you are stuck with 4 monsters in hand, maybe 1 Grapha, 1 tour guide, and then some other random Dark Worlds. Just use Magical Stone Excavation, get rid of the tour guide and the Grapha, and just get out something like the dealings that you used earlier or the drag down. And heck, again, Magical Stone Excavation, get rid of any of the cards that are useless to discard, add back the drag down, and just have your opponent drag down whatever Dark World's stuck in your hand. Just helps to get cards out of your hand and get cards back in your hand. Alright, as for the traps, I like the 1 skill drain. I tried 2, didn't like it. Return from a Different Dimension, it just helps you for your OTK, especially when you got your 3 Graphas engraved. Plus, it's the card that brings back cards that get banished. Let's say that you run into a Dimensional Prison with a Grapha. You bring it back, and then you just overlay with it to keep it, and then you're recycling it again. So, that's my choice for traps. I love the 2 Eradicator for sure. As for the side deck, I definitely wish I had 1 more in there instead of a Royal Decree. Though the Royal Decree did come in handy round 2 when I faced up against Chainburn. But again, I just wish I had the other Eradicator. The main card, though, that I wish I had more of in the side was Goza Match. It would have stopped Elemental Dragons. I honestly have trouble with Elemental Dragons with Dark World, so just get everything in the side against them. So my main cards against them are Goza Match, Imperial Iron Wall, and Prohibition. Prohibition for Blaster mostly because of the fact that Blaster is probably their most useful card. Redox is useful as well as Tempest, but Blaster helps them to get around their problems. It helps them to pop the Ophions, it helps them to pop Fossil Dynas and everything that restricts them. So just Prohibition it. They can't use it at all. They can't even bring it out with Burner. So I love Prohibition personally, especially in this format. You can call for Spellbooks, Fate, Priestess, for Evilswarms, Ophion, Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, though you risk the chance that you can't use it either. And again, Imperial Iron Wall, as much as it can hinder my gates, and it did when the Evilswarm player used it against me, I would still side it because of the fact that Spellbook's banished to destroy, so then you get rid of their destroying, and, well, technically banishing and destroying, but, you know, and of course Dragons. And the only other card that would really work in place of Imperial Iron Wall is Soul Drain, and that kills my deck. So, just take Imperial Iron Wall. I'd rather take it, especially. 2 MSTs I'm fine with, 3's okay. The Royal Decree again I'm fine with. Deck Dev, not that needed, not that necessary, but it's good. It'll help get Scarecrows out of the hand, it'll help get Effect Veilers out of the hand, even though Effect Veilers don't work, and again, it's just whatever. So, the main card for my extra deck was the Heretic Sun Dragon. That was my MVP Exceed card because of the fact that it would, if I had Skill Drain out on the field, I could just get it out and get it around certain cards and whatnot, and just keep OTKing. This is what I did against an Evilswarm player, is that I just kept using the Heretic Sun Dragons and just popping his cards one at a time when he dropped Max C. Sure enough, I decked him out. And it was funny, he even liked it. So, Heretic Sun Dragon just helps you to get rid of cards, and it helps you to destroy cards that are problems, and even around Skill Drain. And all you just need to do is tribute him. So he's a very good card, especially for rank 8. That doesn't need to go exceeding, and, well, sync runs that kind of the option. But it doesn't need to exceed. It doesn't really need an extra deck, but it's a very good edge against your opponent. It helps you get around things that you're afraid of, and just helps you. As for the rest of the extra deck, I kind of wish I could have run Crazy Box, but they didn't allow number hunters. Now that I think about it, that's pretty much it for my deck profile. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them in the comment section. I'll try to answer them, as many of them as possible. And, of course, thank you for watching. Sorry this is not the deck list that you're looking for, the top 64, 32, whatever. I thought it was 32, but now people are saying 64. I'm not sure, but I'm sorry that this isn't the deck list, but I hope this one can kind of give you an idea of what that deck list might have possibly been, and just, it's a fun deck. So, this is Jacob from Vindictive Dueling 2011, signing off.